Hi, and thanks so much for joining me. Today we are talking about one of my favorite brands, Cle De Peau. So if you'd like to see that, please keep watching. So I discovered Cle De Peau through their concealer, which I'm sure most of you did as well. So it does have that cult following. So I tried it, and I don't know how many years ago that was, a few years back. And since then I've tried a lot of other products, and they are all really beautiful. All of the things that I'm going to talk about are things that I love. There's one that's like, I'm not in love with, but I did a side-by-side with two foundations just so you could see what they looked like, because I hadn't done that before myself either, and I was kind of wondering what the difference was, although I knew I already liked one better than the other. So I've got two on right now. I've got concealers on, eye products, cheek and lip. So I just thought I'd pull out all of my Cle De Peau, kind of play around and show you what I had and give you my thoughts around them and just put a look together, something a little bit different this bright lip for the spring. I'll be providing swatches as well. If I don't apply something to my face, then you can see what it looks like on. So if you'd like to see that, please keep watching. Back to the ring light. I've been filming without a ring light for a while just because it's been so nice, but ring light today, it's a little overcast. So we're going to go in with the Sheer Fluid Veil SPF 21. I don't have my Color Science on today. I just have my moisturizer that has SPF 30. This is a nice sheer texture, as it says. It's really lightweight, but moisturizing at the same time, and it gives a little bit of a glass skin effect. Okay, I have two foundations. Is that right? Two foundations by Cle De Peau. We could choose, but I already know which one I want because I don't love one of these. The other one I love a lot though. Let's go in with the Radiant Fluid Foundation. We'll do this quickly. You've seen this before in action, 040. I also have the Radiant Cream to Powder Foundation, which is in my project pan, which I just, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do half Radiant Fluid and half this. This might be a complete disaster, but let's try it because that way you can see side by side. That might be helpful. I just thought of that. This I love because you can just apply it with your hands and it's so just smooth going on. Although this one, other one comes with like a sponge. So I might go grab a beauty blender for that. I put a whole pump. I didn't need to do that for this. Now this does have a little bit of like an olivey element to the shade. So if you have a little, like you're kind of medium like me, but you have a little bit, but not too much olive, this is a nice one. This is kind of right there in the middle. Not too warm, not too cool. And I'm going to build it up just a little bit here. You can see though, it's like I need a couple different shades of foundation because my forehead is so much deeper than the rest of my face. It's really light right in this area right here. So I'm gonna go and get a beauty blender to apply this. I'm just gonna take this. I've got it in the same shade 040 or 040. And let's just apply it like this. Okay, right away, side by side, I can see the coverage is, it is more heavy. Yeah, it's much, oh yeah, I can see it up there. It's a much more medium to full, I'm gonna say. Sheer fluid is like a sheer. So this liquid one over here is much more of a lightweight. I'd say light to medium compared to this one, which is more like medium to full. I think that's quite apparent, the difference between the two. Yeah, I'm glad I tried them on side by side because I just knew that I liked this one better because it looks more skin-like. I think you can see it's got like a dewier finish, and this one's, I think it's called a cream to powder foundation, but it says radiant, so it's not totally matte, but it is more matte than this one. So I think that's pretty clear, the difference. Okay, well, we'll leave it like that, and then we'll just kind of build on top and see if the overall difference is really that apparent. I have a little bit more of this fluid here, so I'm just gonna apply it like this. So there's the difference between those two. Yeah, it has an interesting like slip to it. It doesn't dry down. It feels a little bit, I don't know what the substance is in here, but it is not like drying down, even though it says powder, cream to powder. I'm not feeling like that powderiness to it. This one definitely has more moisture to it though, just on like the way it feels. Yeah, Okay, so I have a collection of their concealers. I have 3 of the concealer shades, and then I have 1 shade in the Radiant Corrector for Eyes. So let's do this so you can see side by side. We'll do my regular concealing routine under the eye here, and then we'll just go in with the Radiant. I know I did a standalone video on that one, just to kind of test it out. It's really nice. Didn't really crease or anything on me. Okay, let's go in with the Almond, and then let's go in with the Mocha. And I prefer Mocha to Honey right now because my skin tone is a little bit cooler tone. Just Honey pools really warm. So I'll swatch them side by side for you if you'd like to see them. But then I just pat this in. So this is the reason why I love this concealer. This is all you need. You don't even need a brush or a beauty blender if you don't have time. That's really quick. Let's go in with the Radiant Corrector for Eyes on the other side. This is in Mocha. This has seen better days, but at least we can see what it looks like. So even though this is Mocha, and I'll swatch it next to the other 3, it looks a little bit warmer. So I'm just gonna pat that in. This is nice and radiant. So I think one of you asked me, you said the Cle De Peau concealer was too dry for your eye area. I'm wondering, and I didn't even think of this one, but this one might be interesting for you to look at because it's much more hydrating than the stick concealer. I was also asked about the Dior one. I feel like that one is heavier, more dense than this one. So this is not as lightweight as the Giorgio Armani, but it's not as heavy as the Dior, or as dense as the Dior, I want to say, but it's hydrating. So that looks really pretty too. Yeah, I forgot about this one. This one, I don't know why I don't pull for it as much, but I did a little test on it. It did really well. I think, does it not have SPF? That might be one of the reasons. If it doesn't have SPF, I just like to put that SPF on because as much SPF as possible is what I do every day. So I'm just looking at Almond. I'm just going to add that on the other areas of my face. I know Jill Christ, I think she said she uses that Radiant one all over the face. Well, should we try it? I don't know if that's gonna work here. Let's just experiment though. So let's put it right here and see what happens. That actually doesn't look half bad. It's a little bit more work to get it in just by doing this. I'm noticing it takes me a little bit more time than say this one. It's not gonna take very much work at all to get it in, but it's really pretty. It's just not enough coverage in that area compared to this concealer. Okay, then I'm going to go in with Mocha. So I'm gonna go in with Mocha over the rest of those. And these have SPF 25. Now Mocha is almost too dark for the center of my face, so I like to go in with Almond on the center as well. That's why I put Almond. But for my forehead and my chin area, it's the right shade. So this is one of those things where I do use both of them to get the right shade depending on the part of my face that it's going on. So I'm going to take a little Almond and just lighten this up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to powder. One of you asked me why I don't use the Cle De Peau powder because I love Cle De Peau so much, which I do. I actually was looking at their translucent one today because I think I saw it on sale. But I also have tried to look at the powder foundation. I could not find a color match for me, so that's one of the reasons I haven't picked that up. I really wanted like a more heavy duty kind of powder, so sometimes I'll look at a powder foundation, but they didn't, like I said, have anything, so I might order the translucent. But right now I'm gonna just do my same thing I do with Charlotte Tilbury and Chantecaille, and I'll be right back. So as you can see, powder and also eyebrows. I did put a little bit of bronzer on, but we have a lot of these little eye pots here. I don't have any powder eyeshadows by Cle De Peau, just the cream ones that I have, maybe 4 of them, I think. We're just gonna go in this though. This is so pretty. It's 309 and it's a beautiful brown color. It has some shimmer in it. It's kind of like a coppery goldish shimmer. So you'll be able to see that right away. This is one of those products that's just so easy to use and it looks beautiful every time. So I just apply it with my finger like this, and then I kind of just fade it out as I go out and blend it in. That's it. That's why I love this. So easy to use and it sets really nicely. It doesn't crease on me. I don't have oily eyelids though. They're pretty much just average, kind of like my under eye area, not too dry, not oily. And I love that just with that one shade, but we can put something else on let's put on, I have a couple to choose from here. I think I've used one of these as a highlighter before. I've got 305, which is like a shell color, and then I also have 308, which is more of like a pearl color, but still on the warm side. So these are the two. Let's see. Okay, let's go in with the lighter one. This is 308. I'm just gonna go in the inner corner with that. Oh wow, that's really bright. I don't know why I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's nice and bright. Okay, and then I'll just kind of pat that in so it's not as stark. I don't know why that surprised me. That tells you how much I don't have a chance to use these. Now I do have a darker shadow here. Should we just see what that looks like? Because I don't really use it, but we might as well, right? It's 307. And I first thought this was a navy, but I think it's like a black with a little bit of shimmer in it. So I'm just going to take just the slightest bit and put on the outer, this is a little bit trickier, on the outer V section. Just a little bit to deepen that. Just a little bit. Now the foundation, now that I was looking a little bit more closely at it, this one over here sits slightly on my skin, just barely, but I can see that this one really meshes really one with the skin, and this one just sits, if you look at it at a certain angle, you can kind of see that it just kind of sits on my skin. But I'm looking at the more dry areas too of my face for that. Okay, and I think that's where we'll leave it for the eyes. Again, that's why I love these products. So easy to use and really great results. So I'm going to put on mascara and eyeliner, and then we'll talk about blush, and I have a lot of lip things to talk about, so we'll come back with that. For eyeliner, I used Chanel products. I used the Espresso in the waterline. I went above it with Marine. I also went in the waterline with Marine, and then the outer V, again, I emphasized with Espresso. Then for mascara, I have the Dior 3D Maximizer Primer, Givenchy waterproof, yeah, the waterproof one, and then also, then I finished up with the Chanel Brown Mascara. Let's go in with blush. Okay, I love this blush, but it does not play well with these areas in the front, so I have to avoid that area. It's a little bit emollient, so this is in the shade 3. This is the warmest of the shades. The other ones are cooler, so I'm just gonna take that and pat that on. Now I already did powder, but the Chantecaille powder that I use is works well with cream products. Doesn't really get bunchy, so we'll go ahead and just put that on top. If I put it here, it's going to start lifting though, so that's what I wish I could place it a little bit further in, but it'll actually disturb that too much, which I've tried before. Yeah, I don't want to mess that up too much. You can see that really skin-like quality on that foundation as well. Yeah, I'm so tempted to put it there because I think it would look so pretty, but I can already see it's lifting a little bit of that concealer up. So just know, if you are like me, then you've got to stop a little bit short of this area right here. Let's go in with lipstick. I have a few choices. I have some different formulas. I have the lipstick Cashmere in 103 Legend, which you know I love, and I haven't worn this one in so long. Of course, I want to put this one on. I also have these in the Radiant Liquid Rouge. This one's in matte in Midnight Magic. I also have this one in Sepia. This one is in the Radiant Liquid Rouge Shine. So there's those. And then I have this also in Sweet as Candy. This is the Refined Lip Luminizer. I also have a, what do you call these, blister pack of the Radiant Liquid Rouge Shines and Mattes. I've got Delicious Dream and Tangy over here for the shines, and I have Midnight Magic, which I have in Silk Kimono 107. I kind of want to see what that 107 looks like. Let's just do that because I just want to try it and see what it looks like, because I think Allison Chase picked that up. and it looks really pretty on her. So let's try it, and I can always remove it if I don't like it. I feel like it feels like frosting. So here, right here, I'm afraid it's gonna be a little too bright. Let's see. So that's equivalent of this product right here. Okay, it's not nearly as orange as I thought it would be. When I looked online, it looked really orange. Oh, wow. Oh no. Okay, this is a problem when you go outside the lines. Let's see if we can tame that a little bit. That's a lot. Let's go in with one of these. Let's go in with Tangy in the Liquid Rouge Shine. Let's see what that looks like on top. We'll just put it like in the center. But yeah, now you can see what another color looks like, because I've worn all of these other shades in other videos. So this is what this one looks like. It's like a corally pink color. It kind of reminds you of Coral Belle, that Chantecaille lip product I picked up. So that's the final look, and what I love the most, I think, as I was working with these, I was reminded why I like these products so much. It's because they are not fussy, meaning that they are so easy to work with and you get a really beautiful result. So I don't think I used any brushes today. I just realized that I didn't use any brushes. I just used a beauty blender to help me apply that cream to powder foundation. But other than that, no brushes on foundation, eyes, or cheeks. Yeah, that's it. So let me know what Cle De products you love and what I should pick up. I'm again looking at that translucent powder. Let me know if you've had experience with that one. I think it said blurring on it, so of course I'm interested in that. It did look a little bit light for me though, even though it says translucent. And then I'm also interested in seeing again if I can find a powder foundation that works for me. But let me know what you love the most from Cle De Peau. I'm gonna say for me, it's hard to say. There are 3 things that I really love though. The concealer, I rely on that every day. So I think that would be my top favorite must have for Cle De Peau. Then their foundation is really beautiful. This one right here, the Radiant Fluid Foundation, beautiful. And then the lipstick in 103 Legends specifically, I think is amazing. But my sister bought one, I think it was in Silk Thread, I want to say, really beautiful as well. Looks a lot like Indian Rose by Tom Ford. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of video, just kind of revisiting what I have in one video, because I know I featured things in separate videos, so you just kind of got to see everything. I'll try and link the ones below that have them all individual in terms of if I featured them as a standalone video. So I'll link those below if you'd like to see that. So again, thanks for all you're doing. Take care of each other, and please stay well. And if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks.